Hey guys, J77 here. I just got back about an hour ago to a movie that I wanted to see for a while since I heard about it. It has gotten big buzz, more buzz than any other film that was nominated for a Golden Globe or any awards, and that was The Artist. I went to, as you can see the ticket here, so to confirm that I have seen the film, because a lot of people want proof. So again, just to make sure that you guys got it. Let me first going to say this. This film I didn't heard anything about until about 2 weeks ago when I actually heard the official announcements for the Golden Globes, and every pretty much it was nominated for every major award, including Best Picture and Drama. And the only thing I can think of in my mind is, what the hell is The Artist? Why come I didn't hear about this? And it's gotten a enormous buzz, more so than any of the films that I've seen or haven't seen. And the first thing I wanted to say is I'm kind of curious because, one, it was a black and white film, and it was a silent film made in France. And this was a big deal because a film like this you normally would see in the best foreign film category. But no, this is getting all sorts of praises. So I decided to pretty much play the coin. If I wasn't going to get to see The Artist, I was going to get to see The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But my real heart was set on The Artist. The first theater I went to was the Sunrise Theater in Manhattan to see if one or the other was playing, and neither one was playing, which I was a little disappointed. But there was a film that did caught my interest, but I'm not going to watch that film. I really wasn't that drawn into that film. So I went to the IFC, I think it's called Angel Attica Film Center and Cafe. Beautiful place. First time I went there, it's very nice. Got a very good lounge. The people were nice. The theater was clean and good. The only beef I have with it was the subway underneath the theater. But other than that, the audio was good enough where you can actually focus on the film. Now, before I go any further, there's some things you need to understand. I rated this film solely on an open mind basis because I was going in there not having a clue whether I was going to like it, not like it. The first thing I made sure I recognized off the bat is this is a silent movie. It's in black and white. And this film is going to be played by how the actors, body posture, emotion, and the score. The score is definitely going to be a very important aspect of the movie. So with that and the fact I was looking around the audience and to see what type of audience I was looking at, and sure enough, this is the Art House Theater. This was a mature audience that I was with. So with that in mind, I went in this theater, the film began, and to its credit, it stunned me in a very good way. This is definitely worth the hype. This is definitely one of the top 10 best movies of 2011. It's definitely a love letter to Hollywood, and the director, whose name I cannot pronounce, have done a fantastic job of capturing the era of the silent film genre, a dead genre, may I remind you. It really does have a great story, and not one time was I not turned off by these characters. These characters were very fascinating. The cold stars are fascinating. I love that dog. I absolutely love that dog. That dog should get an Oscar just by his performance alone. I was very much drawn into the film, and that's hard to do. For a silent film to do that, you did something right. This film have accomplished something that I myself was a little bit skeptical about when I first heard this film, because again, you're talking about a movie that is 99.9% silent, and is being put here in this new age of films where effects, CGI, acting, audio, everything is pretty much in the forefront, and you're putting this film that takes it back, but it takes it back in a classy way. This is definitely a film that does a great job doing that. It tells a great story. It tells a story about an actor who who is in the hype of his game. He's he's one of the best actors. Everybody loved him. He's making movies, making a lot of silent films, and he is finding himself now as the years go by. People are going less and less with silent genre. About a year later, he finds out that their company, the studios, are now going to have movies where the actors are talking. That's a transition that unfortunately he's refusing to accept. His pride is saying this is never going to work. They're going to like me for what I am. And that slowly cost him his career. And it happens, it don't just happen just like that. It happens in a slow transition. And this is one of the things I like. Another thing, you have this woman that goes by the name of Pepe. She's tied into to this movie in a way that you start to see her. She starts from the very bottom and work her way toward the top. She's getting small and small roles, but it's getting bigger and bigger, and people are starting to recognize her to the point where she is now the main star. She is now the main attraction. And while she rises to fame, he is slowly dying down. And this has happened during the course of years. It's not just it doesn't happen like that. The film does a very fantastic job pulling this off. You see a scene, a dream sequence, which is well done, and I gotta admit, this almost caught me off guard. Where when he left the screen test from his boss, from his boss and producers, saying that this is going to be the way of the future, he has a dream sequence where you hear a sound, and this is like a nightmare to him, because now when the person, he laughed it off at the beginning, but now it's starting to dawn on him, what happens if they truly do go with the sound? Where did that lead me? And sure enough, when he came back to the studios, the studios had cut all silent films production. They are not doing anymore, leaving him out in the cold. But rather than to accept and embrace the new idea of having the actors talk, he just brushed it off and tried to do his own thing with his own money, and that ended up costing him, because he's pouring out a lot of money. He's trying to get this silent film done. He gets it done, but unfortunately, it's at the same time of this lady who is pretty much, they met in very unusual circumstances, and they're pretty much tied in. But she's already famous, where he's not only facing a film that will probably fail, but he's facing the stock market, which crashed. Keep in mind the era. This film is shot between 1927 and 1932, and a lot of stuff has happened. And as this happened, his marriage is pretty much in ruins. He's lost his fortune, he lost his house, and the only thing he has left is pretty much his pride, his dog, and his loyal servant, which was played by Malcolm McDowell. And I'll get to him in a minute. Another thing about this movie, as the transaction goes on, you recognize, and this is something about the score, you recognize the movie very much by the score. The score is pretty much the key, and the score does a good job of capturing each emotion, except for one scene, and that one scene, it's the only time I actually felt, well, I don't know what he's feeling. That scene where it happens later in the film, where he's in such a bad state that now he has to sell everything he owns. And what ended up happening was the lady, Pepe, she ends up getting all his stuff at an auction. And in a scene, he goes into this room where all his stuff is there, and this music, the music is played so loudly, and I'm thinking, okay, is he sad? Is he frightened? What is he really feeling? And I really still couldn't register that, but obviously he was upset by seeing this stuff, reminding him of his heydays. Other than that, the music was superb in this movie. It was definitely great. I'm not gonna get too much into the ending, because I think the ending is a very well done ending. But I can say this film did a great job just by the body language, the facial expressions, and the score. That this film really did carry itself well. I was never bored by this movie. The pacing was great. The acting was superb. There were actors in here I was surprised to see in here. I believe the French actor is Joe Dardenne, and the female actor, I'm just going to go by the name of Bingo. Both French actors, both well done actors. They've done their job well, and I really care for both of these actors. There was a big, strong message behind their performance. One of them happens to be when the actress was very, very strong. She was very, very up in popularity. But you can see in this scene where she went to the restaurant to do an interview, this fame was getting to her head. She was being just like, well, the other actor was, where she was cocky, overconfident, saying things just to say things, and not realizing that the person who actually founded her, that actually made her who she was sitting behind her. And in the scene, he turns around and said, and I quote, this was one of the films that was actually in a title card, in a subtitle card, saying, I stepped aside to make you who you are. And it was a powerful scene to me. You can analyze it as much as you can, that's fine, but it says a lot about, the same thing that happened to me could happen to you. And I think that's what it meant, because she never acted that way again. In fact, she did everything in her power to try and help him, which I find very touching and very, 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 very sad at the same time, because the guy, he really did hit rock bottom. There's a scene in the bar where his conscience of his past was trying to get him to do things. There's a very, very strong scene where he's fighting his own shadow, saying, "Look what you become." And he's such a broken state that he actually burned down most of his silent films, except for one, a very important one, which I'm not gonna say what it is, but it does play a very strong role in the film and how much he truly cared for that actress, who he pretty much gave good advice to in the beginning of the film. Everything played to a T. The score, can't say enough about the score. The score was fantastic. It really captured everything that was going on in this movie. And the co-stars, Malcolm McDowell, John Goodman. John Goodman, I did not even expect to be in this movie, and he was in this movie, and he did a great job. The dog, can't say enough about that dog. Oscar-worthy performance. McDowell playing the loyal butler. This guy was loyal to him to the end. Even when he wasn't even getting paid any money, because he didn't have any money, he stuck by him. And that's what loyalty money can't buy. He was forced to let him go because he can't continue doing this to him. And it was a very touching and very sad scene, but understandably so, that hey, I can't continue using him. But it was loyalty that even I can understand, because he really wanted to be with him. Again, there's hardly, with the exception of that one scene I mentioned, this is hardly anything to. There's nothing wrong with this film. There's nothing bad with this film. This is a 4-star film. It is a perfect film if you're open-minded, and the key word here is open-minded. I'm just gonna lay it out there. This film is not for everybody. If you're a person who loves action-packed films, popcorn films, something that's going to kill time for an hour and 50 minutes, or a person who just goes in there for the excitement and the thrill ride, you're probably not going to like this film. This film is pretty much for mature audiences, and when I say mature audiences, I mean mature audiences. The audience I went to see this film, there was over the age of 50, 40, 70. This is not a film for kids. I think there's only 3% of the film people who were over the 18 was 3 people. 3 people was over the age of 18. There was no kids for this film, and even though it was a PG-13 film, which by the way, it has not really had not really much serious enough stuff. There was not really any major sexuality in this film, only the sexual tension that you can see from the two of them. Besides that, this film is really not meant to be seen for a young viewer. You really have to come in with an open mind. You really have to come in knowing that, hey, this is a film that is meant to be seen as as a drama, a serious drama, and an art house drama for that matter. Because this is a film really, like I said, when I still heard about this film, I was a little bit unsure about it, but there was so much praises that it did speak my interest. But did I, kept those praises in my head when I saw it? No, I wiped them out. I saw it with a clear, clean slate, and I'm just glad I did. It is a film that really you need to open your mind and realize, hey, there's no dialogue. You're not going to see any shoot 'em up, bang 'em up. What you're going to see is an old style fashion black and white silent film, and it works like a black and white silent film. Whether you like it or not, it really all depends on your taste in movies. It really does. If you're going into this film just to nitpick it, you're not gonna like it. It's just that simple. It's not for you. There's just some films that it's not for everybody. Same thing goes with Transformers. Many people bash Transformers, but I find it kind of funny because I always thought Transformers was for a more younger audience, like someone between the age of 14 and 25. Those people who like to see explosion, those people who like to see stupid, gross out comedy, they will like Transformers more than those who are in their 30s who are looking for a more mature, more respectable Transformers film, or something that reminds them of the Transformers of old. That's not that type of film. The same thing with the Twilight Saga. The Twilight Saga knows its audience. It knows who they're talking to, and those audiences are going to like this film, while others probably will hate the film. So again, it's a matter of taste. It's not for everyone, and you really got to come in with an open mind. Otherwise, you just basically waste your $13. Other than that, do I think if you are open to films like this, or is it a strong drama, you'll find that this film is very well done and very well crafted. The cinematography, A+, acting, A+, the score, with the exception of that one little scene that I really wasn't too sure how to feel. The score was carried through this film. It's definitely a great score. I was very proud of this film. I was very, very happy to see this film, and with the crowd, they applaud this film, and I applauded with them. So it's definitely a film worth checking out. But like I said, it's a film that is geared for a specific audience. It's not a major film, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a major film. This film should be seen with a mature audience in mind. With that, I'm going to give it my 4 stars. It's definitely the top 10 best films of all time. Whether it be winning for Best Picture, I don't know. But if it does, I'm not going to disagree of the decision to give it Best Picture, because it is a great movie. But like I said, that's another discussion for another day. Like I said, I saw this, for those who live in New York, I saw this at an art house theater. The AFC New York's is located at Broadway Lafayette. It's $13. They actually have 2 theaters playing. I saw the 335 one, so if you want to check it out, it's a good theater, by the way, nice theater. Give it a try if you'd like to see it. If you've already seen it, please make your comments below. I'd like to know your feeling about the film. Or if you plan to see it, give me a reason why. I'd like to know, is this film, do you want to give this film a chance? But in any case, that's my take on it. Hope you take the film in consideration. Till then, this is J77 saying take care.